Floss Tube. It's Lisa here from Shady Tree Stitches, and thank you so much for joining me for my 2021 week parade. Well, my plans for No New Start 2021, which entries have now closed. So thank you so much to all the people who are joining us for this journey of whittling down our whips and not starting anything new for the whole year or as long as you can manage. I'm really excited because I have going into the year with 100 whips. Now that's not bad considering I only restarted stitching about 2 years ago. But I'm quite happy with my progress I've made this year, and basically I've just started or about to start the pieces that I will just started next year. So I don't feel too bad about that, and I'm going to see how many I can knock over. So during this whip parade you'll get to see my plans as well as my whip parade. So first up, I would like to show you my finishes so far this year. And I should say it's the 14th of December. So we're halfway through December. There is still time for more finishes in Finish That Stitch December, but you'll have to watch my regular floss tubes to see them. In no particular order, we have got Beach Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. Oh no, I brought the board here specifically, and it's buried under this mountain of wicks. Let's try that, that's better. Beach Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. Really enjoyed stitching on this one. It is slightly personalised, as are most of my whips, but it was really good, and in particular I was really happy to be able to use a piece of my funky ice dyed Paddock Lanes design fabric. And I've still got a big blue bit here that I'll be able to use for something else. So really, really pleased with that. So I did do a lot of finishes this year. I haven't actually counted them all up yet, but we'll see how we're going. So there's one finish. I've been finishing a lot of little ones this month. I finished that stitch December. This one's called Sampling Thanksgiving by Lizzie Kate. Lizzie Kate ones are such a quick and easy stitch. I really enjoy them for a bit of a brain bake. So there we go. Sampling Thanksgiving. I've got this one, which is also done on a piece of funky Paddock Lanes design fabric. And this one is Welcome Spot Sampler. So the Welcome Spot Sampler I finished a bit earlier in the year. And that's a drawn thread pattern. So I think it looks super cute. A whole bunch of different stitches, like satin stitches and things. French knots, which I don't mind doing. So we have a nice piece there, ready to end the year. And I've still got a half piece of fabric on that I can steal for something else. Earlier in the year, Irina Verbana had a free sale where you could pick any one of her patterns and she'd send it to you for free. I think that was quite a good marketing move, so kudos to her for thinking of it. And I stitched this one, which was Black Castle, and again on a piece of Paddock Lanes design fabric. So yeah, I really like the way it pops out. It looks spooky and stormy. So thank you to Irina for those ones, and I'm going to have to stitch more of hers as well because they are also quite a simple stitch. Quick and easy, not too taxing on the brain. Alright, this one didn't quite meet its goalpost, but nearly did. And it is Welcome from Cricket Collection. And you can see I've gone right to the edge. But that's okay because I'm actually going to make a wall hanging for the front door of our new house, which we've been in for months, but I'm about to get my new craft room in the next week. So it just needs my furniture to come, and then I'll be in my new craft room. This is my current pretend craft room where I don't craft, I just store stuff. So you can see it's a guest bedroom, and it's where we have foster kids come and stay for respite. So I have to clear all my craft stuff out and then set it all back up again, so it's most annoying. So I'm really looking forward to having a dedicated space. So you'll see more about that in future videos too if you're interested. Okay, I also completed my first season from the Cricket collection, which is summer. Really like these ones. Started a while ago, stitched in DMC on a piece of just plain fabric from Sew It All in Port Macquarie in Australia. They do really good fabrics. So yeah, summer is I'm going to make these into a little wall hanging too that I can switch out for the seasons when I've done all the seasons. And another little finish that I've done, just finished that stitch December. This was from the Mittagong Stitches Retreat, and it's called Gorgeous Gum Knots by Fuzzy Fox Designs. And they're super cute. Really cute. So yeah, they're a nice little stitch to finish. I also got my Christmas tree ornaments finished. Not fully finished yet, but finished. And there was 3 of them, so I made a 4th one just to use the space. So I need to make them into ornaments to give away for Christmas this year. So they will be fully finished soon, so I'll try and get photos of them as we go. And another little one for finish that stitched December was another Lizzie Kate Autumn Nation. So I like these little ones. I only have the autumn one, so I'll have to see if I can find the others because they're really, again, cute and easy. I love the block colours, and they're just really a relaxing stitch. Okay, the next couple of finishes are all pieces that I designed and model stitched. So first one I model stitched for myself was part of the Paddock Lane Designs Aussie Year Down Under. And it's the month of February. So I do have some model stitches out there somewhere who will get me their photos eventually. But there's my February, all about chocolates and hearts. One for each month to do with what we would celebrate in that month. And then the next one, it's one of my favourites, is March. Now in March, sometimes we celebrate Easter, but it's spring. So the Easter Bunny is looking towards Easter. He's got his eggs ready. So I like March. So all the Paddock Lane things you can find on my Etsy store or on my Facebook group. And then I was really blessed, and thank you so much to the Sassy Pouch for commissioning me to stitch, to design for 3 of their pouches this year. I couldn't believe it. That was really amazing. So I started a series called Fishbowl from the Reef, and this one's called Nemo, and he uses a couple of specialty threads for the coral that we got in the Sassy Pouches, as well as half stitches and full stitches. So I really like my little fish bowls, and there's a couple of those in the series. And then I had to do something Rocky Horror, and the suggestion I was given was a spooky looking house with motorbikes. So there is my spooky looking house with motorbikes, and it's stitched on a piece of Sassy Dyed Bondi fabric. The Sassy Dyed fabrics you can actually get from the lovely Melissa, who's Fancy Fabrics, and she's now dyeing fabrics as a sideline as well. She does a really beautiful job. So I thought that looked perfect on there. And then the third one, these aren't necessarily in order, it's fully finished. Oh my goodness, I fully finished something. And it was to celebrate their first birthday. Oh, still need to hold there. So we have the happy birthday. Now this one I haven't released anywhere else yet, but I'm thinking about seeing what I can do for it. So yeah, so they were my commissions. So it was a really good way to start off my year with the designing. Stitching a few. There's a couple more in the works, and I thank you to everyone who has supported the business. Now I have one more fully finished, so I have to go and grab it. Hold on. Okay, so I realised I had more finishes. I thought I did, just had to look them up. The paperwork was not 100% accurate. I need to work on that for next year. So I did have a little winter small finish from Lizzie Kate. And I also had a little spring finish from Lizzie Kate. And I also had to finish that, a little autumn finish. So that's got me ready to be working on the other bits for this year. I had another piece that I designed, which is E for Esky. So my plan is to do a whole Australian alphabet when I get around to it. Anyway, the pet's back again. And the reason I realised was this was my first finish. This was a Sammy J design. She doesn't do designing anymore, but she designed this one for Magical Stitches, and they were going to give out a pattern every month, which was a really, really cool idea. Unfortunately, they ran into some issues with one of the designers, so it was disappointing because I actually did design one for them that they never used. Anyway, so this one I stitched, and that was good, and I was going to do the whole series of them, but I only got the one done. And then my last one, say hello kitty. My last finish was a big one, and I do not actually have the date recorded of when I finished this, but this is my biggest achievement, I think, for finishing. And I'm sorry about the light. We Are Humans. So I finished the whole of We Are Humans, and I loved this one. It was so good. So I can show it to you with the backing board. It just doesn't go the whole way along. But I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm very keen if they put out something like this again. I would be very interested. They've got the famous women in history, but it's not quite what I want. I really like the around the world sort of thing. So thank you, Clark's Factory, for that. All right, now I said I was going to save up my numbers, but I think my numbers was 24 finishes so far this year. So that's good. I mean, I did 33 last year, and I was working on a lot more bigger projects this year. So 24 finishes already, with a few more to go. And then I have started 84 pieces. Oops, in the year of starts. Well, that's cool. And I've got 4 more to start. So there'll be 88 starts this year with 24 finishes. So yeah, puts me in a good place. All right, so now that I've added this bit in to this video, I will continue. Okay, sorry, forgot this one. This is one of my oldest whips, Cat, and it's a glasses case, and it's fully finished because it actually came with a little glasses case that you stitched it onto. So the easiest fully finished I have done. So I didn't date it because I started it like in 1998 or something, but I finished it this year, so that gives me another finish. So that's my finish parade for the moment. I think there may be a couple more, but they're not that I've got on me. So we're going to move on to the ones that I'm currently working on this month for Finish That Stitch December that may or may not get finished. And these are now all in my whip list for next year. Okay, so let's try to find them. There we go. Come Let Us Adore Him by Lizzie Kate. Again, these aren't really in any particular order. This is where I'm up to. So it was a new start, and I've nearly finished. I've seriously got 2 bits of white left to do. So we'll see how I go this month. I'm enjoying doing the whip wranglers from Semi Sane, and I roll a dice and it tells me which number of my 20 that I put on that I'm working on. So that tells me what to do. You know, I like being told what to do. Okay, I've also got Joyous Noel. Joyous Noel looks like this, and it was a new start too, so I don't have to show you a before photo. This was a lovely free chart, and I am up to there. I haven't done a lot, but I've only just started on it, and it's a really, really cute Christmas Quaker. So that's where I'm up to, stitching it on a piece of my hand-dyed paddock lanes design fabric that I got commissioned to dye for someone else who's doing the same sale. So I thought that sounded good and did one for myself as well. So we'll see how much of that we can get done this year. Alright, also I was working quite hard on this one the other day, and it is just one more stitch by Little House Needleworks. Just one more stitch is definitely an anthem towards me every night. Just one more thread, I'll just do one more before bed. And this is where I'm up to on that. So it is super close to getting finished too. I've just got to do the alphabets and things down the bottom and finish a bit of the tree. Again, a piece of my fabric, and I am really enjoying it, although interestingly enough it's on a 22 count hard hanger and I'm doing it over 2, which looks good from a distance, but up close I feel like I'm a kindergarten kid stitching it. But it does make it easy. Can you see? That's one of my new kitties. That one is Focus, and he's climbing all over my whips. Those bags there are all my whips. There you go, mate. They're all my whips that I'll be showing you. But we're just working on the ones at the moment that are, here you go, say hello, are current or the finished. It has some sort of structure to my video. Okay, the next one, I roll this in a bag here, is also highly likely to get finished. Fragment in Time. Oh, don't knock that over, kitty. And I have done a fair bit of this too. In fact, I just need to find another colour that I'm missing so that I can finish it off. So it's fair way underway. That's not helpful, especially not with the claws, thank you, young man. Not helpful at all. Alright, so that's Fragment in Time. I have a few of those in the series, but I'm just doing the one for the moment. I'll make it into a little pillow. It's going to be a smalls gift for someone if there's ever any retreats next year. Who knows? Who knows what next year will bring? Another year of surprises, I guess. Okay, this one, Country Cottage Needle House's Surfside Cottage. Super cute, super easy, super small. Doing this one on a piece of the random, this is again a Sourdough fabric, and they just sell these little pieces as a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get, and that one really looked to me like sea and sky. So I've got a fair bit to go on that, but it's in the works to get worked on this week. Now this one was a whip at the start of last year. So at the start of last year, it looked like this. Sing Our Song with Sampler by Bent Creek. And I am up to Doe and Ray. I have finished the rest, just to see in a second. I'll dig it out. This one's on a linen, and it's quite big. It makes it very hard to actually show you because it's long and skinny. So you see, that's how long it is. You can't see the first bit, but here's all the bit I've done. Tea and dough, they're all finished. And then if I wrap this around, you can see where I'm up to start the month. But again, there's not too much left on that, so you never know. If it gets rung up, the numbers, it could get finished this month. It is possible. Anything is possible. I actually am in my last week of school and I've only got one day to go to school this week. So unfortunately that means the kids only have one day of school, which means that I've got to babysit and entertain. But that's okay. It means I can get some stitching done because I can entertain and stitch simultaneously a lot of the time. This one's my other old whip. My other old whip is from the same era, about 1987, another cat, strangely enough. It's funny because we haven't had any cats in this house for about 8 years till now. So this is where my cat is up to. Not too much left to finish that either. And that's why these are in the Finish That Stitch December pile. If there's anything I thought I could finish with a day or two's work. It's just a matter of getting the day or two and having enough stitches on them. Alright, we have got appropriate one for this time of year. The Nativity by Country Cottage Needleworks. And the Nativity also super close to being done. He is that far done. And another funky piece of my fabric. So I thought I'd make it, jazz it up a bit. Instead of it being boring and white. Don't think I'll do too many boring and white ever again, now that I have the skills to do dyeing. Okay, the linen and threads sale for this year. I won't bother showing you the picture because it's nearly finished. Just got to do 2 months worth of stitching. Which you can see how that's looking. Again, on a funky piece of fabric. In hindsight, the fabric's probably a little bit funky for this piece, but I'm actually going to make it into a cushion. So it will look good, but I'm happy. I'm so glad I popped that blue in as well as pinks and purples. So yeah, I only got a little bit to go. It will get done this year. It's actually not on my whip list for next year, so it has to get done. And it will. I have faith that I will get it done, even though I have moving into my craft room to do as well. Alright, 2 more in the current plans list. And that is another one that was previous to this year, which was the Farmhouse Christmas. And Farmhouse Christmas, I've only got 2 left to do, which is these 2. The quilt and the 2 people with the dog and the church. So I've got to work on them because I'd like to get this one finished. And it was a whip from last year, so it's an older whip, but it's making really good progress and it's nearly done. So this is where it's up to. And there's not really much point in showing where it's done because it's probably like those ones, but we've done these ones, so I've got 2 more to do. And again, for those of you with an eagle eye, I'm not actually leaving them all together on this fabric. I originally planned to cut them up, and then when I started stitching them on here, I didn't measure them properly because it didn't matter because I was chopping them up. And after I started stitching, I went, oh, you know what? It actually looks really cool just as it is. But I can't leave it now because I'm an idiot and I can't count. Anyway, so that's just the way it is. So yeah, 2 more of them to do. I don't expect that to get finished this year, but it will get finished as soon as possible next year. And the last one is actually, again, a set of 4. I've got a friend chomping at the bit to get these patterns from me. Another set of Lizzie Kates, and these are the Lizzie Kates seasonal smalls. So spring, summer, autumn and winter. And the really cool thing is I've actually stitched almost all of them now, except the words. So the winter, the spring, the autumn and the summer. And I am stitching them all on one piece of fabric, but I'm going to make them into turn them into different pillows. So you can see they're all whips, 200 stitches, because 200 is what I had to make all my whips into. So there's 3 ready to go, and I just have to do spring, I think, for the looks of it. But it'll get rolled up this month and we'll get spring started, although they're only counting as one whip for No New Starts because I wanted to keep my number of whips down to 100. So they're all on one fabric, so therefore they're all one whip. Okay, so that is my finishes, and that is my current pieces that I'm working on in December. So I'm going to round off this video there, I think, before I get to the rest of them for the whip parade. And I'll just talk to you a bit more about my plans. So I have a daily planner where I write down what I stitch, I write down what the prompts are. I'm still undecided which groups I'm going to be involved in next year, but there's lots of different options. A couple of the groups are just going through a little bit of tumultuousness, so I'm waiting to see how that irons out. My main focus obviously will be No New Starts, and we have some very fun things planned. We're not a challenge group as such, but there will be some fun activities and things to help you work through your whips, so that will be really good. Okay. There we go. So this is a calendar album thing that I'm going to use for each whip to have a visual record of what when I stitch on each one, because I want to get progress. So I've got one of these for each whips, and then I'm going to colour in what I've done because I like to be able to see it. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you in a minute for the rest of the whips. Bye. Okay. Well, if you hung around, you realise that I'm an idiot, as always. And I lied. There's 4 more. Silly me. I have 4 more I need to start in the next half of the month because I was able to finish quite a few, and I decided I'd keep it at a round number of 100. I now get to start Crystal Christmas by Mirabilia. I've had this one. I found my box in my storage shed, and I've had this one and wanted to do it for years. And I dyed myself a nice piece of pale pink fabric for it because I think they're going to look stunning on the pale pink. So I have to kit it up and all that, but I'll get there. And I'm a bit disappointed because my CXC order has been months and it's still not here. I don't even think it's left China, so I must be caught up in the Australia-Chinese kerfuffle. Anyway, the second one I found is, I've been wanting to do these. I've got a few of these. My Big Toe, and this is the Beatitudes. One of my favourite things I had to learn when I was at school. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, etc. So I have decided to do this on a lovely pale green piece of fabric with this gorgeous Silks for You. All the colour thread there, and a little purple for the highlighting, so that's going to look super cool. So Silks for You half a hank that I already had, which is really good. I like the fact that I can use my stuff now, I can find it. And then the other 2, I'm waiting for them to arrive from 123 Stitch. I had to order them in, so I can put pictures here. And we've got the All Hallows Eve by Joyous. I really love these being just a monotone, so I dyed myself this piece of crazy purple fabric, and in the Silks for You sale that they just had, I got that gorgeous purple silk to go on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing All Hallows Eve in, which will be lovely and luscious. And for anyone who cares, that is Silks for You PR 158. And then I also had to buy the companion piece, which is this one, Christmas Eve Sampler. And this one, I also had previously dyed myself this gorgeous green and pink. And I bought myself a Silks for You there. So really happy with that. So I'm looking forward to starting them once they arrive. So hopefully they get here soon. Otherwise I guess I'll be doing a little bit of border All right, I promise you, that is it. That is all my current projects and my finishes for 2020. So my plans and my current projects, and then we will head into probably a longer video with all those whips. See you soon.